Hello and welcome back, everyone. Last we left off, our party members had a feast with the Militars. Got the chest back and went back to the Lucky Griffin, where Quincy is a little upset that you guys went through his chest without permission.
Cough,
It was all Tenethel's idea.
Hannafel hit you on the back of the head for that. And now you guys got your next mission to be guards for a caravan.
So, question. So, this story that Quincy probably gave the I'm losing the word, the cult. Is our cover that we're like mercenaries for hire, or?
Yep, you guys are mercenaries for hire looking for an extra bit of coin to make.
Granny's gonna have to change up her clothing a little bit.
And after you guys did a bit of shopping to get your gear upgraded and buy some new gear,
It'll be a long trip.
you guys now head to the to Baldur's Gate entrance to meet up with the rest of the caravan.
Okay.
There are a total of 6 wagons,
Excluding our own?
excluding yours.
Okay, so us makes 7.
3 of them have what appears to be members of the cult, and 3 others that you don't recognize.
Do the cult? So here's the question: do the cult members have outward signs that they're the cult, or do we just know by the fact that we were told?
The fact that you were told.
Okay.
I'm
Uh,
gonna need either Robbie or Religas to roll a perception check.
I can roll. I got a good perception modifier.
So what, Robert, you're gonna roll?
Yeah, I rolled. I rolled a 17.
You catch a glimpse of a face underneath a hood, and it looks kind of familiar to you, but you don't recognize.
To actually like realize who it is.
Yeah.
I'll make a mental note to keep an eye on who it was, so I can keep an eye on them later. I think my cover, despite what with me being so old, I think my cover is that of our quote unquote mercenary group. I make poisons. I think that'll be my cover.
So Samael is going to kind of sashay up to the leader of the caravan if he can spot them.
You do a lot of that sashaying. I mean,
He's flamboyant.
Alright. So everyone's all set up, taking their positions alongside the carts as the caravan's getting a line and heads off towards Waterdeep.
Waterdeep. Heyo.
Oh, Samael is going to introduce himself to the leader of the caravan. kind of wanted the Samuel kind of wanted to get the kind of lay of the land to figure out who he's actually dealing with.
Right. This man appears to be human. Is 7 feet 5 inches in height.
Oh boy.
But doesn't really respond to anything as he keeps the caravan line going.
Samael is going to just kind of take a look over him. So you don't talk, handsome.
Not a word.
Ah, well, you can't blame a boy for trying. He kind of just walks back over to their cart.
Tanithil sides eyes you. What were you doing?
Trying to figure out who he was. Get a little more information than just big guy driving the carts. And flirting is always a great cover.
True, it has worked for me in the past.
Of course, you don't need any other reason to approach somebody.
Yeah, but it was quite clear he wasn't really all that interested now, was he?
And that's why I walked away. But otherwise, Samael just kind of takes note of the other caravan members, and that's about it. Seeing that his information gathering attempt failed so amazingly.
So I'm gonna skip ahead a few days. You guys have basically been on the road for 3 days now, nonstop. On the fourth night, the caravan decided to pull up to a roadside inn for the night to give the horses a break, as well as everyone get a decent night's sleep.
About five, right? I've had. I would sleep in a bed ever.
All right, everyone. It looks like you guys, since you're being portrayed as the guards, gets to sleep in the basement with the other servants.
Fine.
While everyone else gets a room.
Can Samael buy his own room?
There may or may not be enough space.
Yes, sadly, they're all taken up by the members
Oh, well.
of the caravan.
Well, I guess I can rough it.
Oh no, she's rolling dice. That's not good.
Samael is before he goes to sleep. Samael is going to cast alarm around himself.
Next morning, everyone gets a quick breakfast, pack up, and hits the road again. By this time, you guys are wandering through an area called the Fields of the Dead.
Edgy. I wonder why it's called that.
While walking this path, you guys up ahead, one of the other hired hands calls out that there's a fight happening up ahead.
Can Granny see what's going on from where she's at? I'm thinking she'll be driving the cart.
All right.
Or she Can she see anything from where she's at?
Yeah, up ahead you see a freight wagon is stranded on the road. Its draft animals are dead.
Ooh.
A noble merchant as well as 3 other guards are sheltered underneath the wagon, with crates dragged between the wheels for cover. Surrounding said cart are 6 hobgoblins and a hobgoblin captain.
6 hobgoblins and a what? Sorry?
Goblin captain.
Ooh.
How far are they?
I'm gonna say they are roughly 60 feet up ahead.
Oh, that's well within range. He looks at Tenethil. So do I have your permission to just completely end these?
Um, no.
Oh well, I guess I'll go try and talk.
No, we need to chase them off. We need to scare them.
Granny can do her best intimidation.
I mean, I've got my longbow. I could see if I can snipe off their leader.
Can I at least kill, like she said, can I at least kill the leader?
Fine. Just
Thank you. Lefane, do you mind joining me in my little motor?
I mean, if we don't do something, they're gonna, they're gonna hurt more than just their draft cattle there.
No, he said, do you mind joining me? As in, do you mind firing with him?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is the rationale is, I mean, if we don't do something, more people are going to get hurt. So she's agreed.
He is. He's going to do his dual magic missile attack. Let me roll for that real quick. Roll 8.
I need to figure out what it would take for me to get a hit in with the arrow.
Well, since you're sniping, it's considered sneak attack, so you roll with advantage.
Okay, but I've also I've got that longbow from the festival, so that's a +3 enchanted bow, plus the dex bonus. And then let me go over here. Plus the psychic damage from being Fey Wanderer.
Oh, damn it. Wrong one. I rolled 88s instead of 84s. Damn it.
So,
And you said you're aiming at the leader?
Yes. 45. So, Samael just...
He's dead in that one shot, Sam.
All right, Samael just opens his hands and just unleashes like a barrage of flaming magic missiles, and they explode him.
That apparently was much stronger than you intended.
He looks over at Tenethil. Well, he was a captain. I thought he could take it.
He's just staring stunned as the body of this hobgoblin captain keels over. The rest look at it, look up at this barrage of people, and
Samael just waves.
people arriving. They run off. They just forget everything and they just run.
guess I can put my bow back.
Right, I thought he could handle it. I thought you were going to need to finish him off. Purposefully not looking at Tenethil, who's probably just glaring daggers at his overkill. So, Lefane, tell me more about your archery, he says as he slowly walks away from Tenethil.
As you do, Tanithil just wraps an arm around your neck and pulls you close. Next time when I say don't overdo it, don't overdo it. I don't want us to get caught.
Then I figured he could take a couple of magic missiles.
He then lets go of you.
I may not have needed to add the extra fire, but it. Okay. Next time I won't use the fire.
I just don't want us to get discovered, you know?
Fair enough. He just puts his hands up like, all right.
Speaking of which, Tanithil asks you to take the reins as he heads into the back of the covered wagon real quick.
He does so and looks over at Lefane. I think I'm in trouble.
It's like she's just gonna kind of shrug because, like, what are you gonna do? Magic's gonna be a lot more flashy than an arrow.
I mean, well, to be fair, your arrows are pretty flashy. Don't they do that whole glowy thing?
It's like maybe a little, but they're not gonna do a whole barrage.
Okay, but I still feel targeted. Just a little bit.
He's gonna get a like a tentative pat on the back. Is like there.
Samael just leads the cart like he was told to.
The caravan for the rest of a bit it seems to go uneventfully. After a bit, Tanithil comes back to take over. You see that he looks different. Tanithil.
So you doing now?
His hair is a different color. His hair is a different cut. His eyes are a different color. And his skin is a different color.
Did he use the dimension wardrobe thing?
Samael represses a laugh and kind of holds in a smirk as he looks over. Oh, hello, good sir. Do I know you?
Tanithil just winks at you and sits back down and takes the reins.
Oh, you gotta warn a guy before you go to the full roleplay.
Don't you think I would be kind of easy to spot?
Oh, yes, but I mean, if you're gonna be kinky, you might as well tell me beforehand.
He punches your shoulder.
Samael just kind of laughs to himself as he continues to drive the cart.
Yeah, essentially his disguise is his hair is now jet black, curly, and his skin tone is much paler, like all one tone, completely pale, and his eyes are now a emerald green.
Oh, well, aren't you cute? Look, I prefer the previous mortal, but Lefane, don't you think he's absolutely adorable?
It's like there's a bit of a shrug, and then she, quietly adds in, is like, couldn't you have done this progressively over time so people wouldn't notice the differences?
Oh, she does have a point.
Well, I'd rather have it done it sooner, so I wouldn't have been noticed right away. Because if you think about it, an elf with two-toned hair and two-toned skin is much more noticeable than a really pale elf with black curled hair.
It's like, we could pass it off as you had a glamour beforehand and it just faded.
That's true. Well, we'll just have to wait and see how the events progress from here on out. After another 3 full days of riding, without an inn in sight, the caravan decided to pull off to the side for a quick camp. Is there anything specific anyone would like to do?
MIL sets up tiny hut. That's really about it, and he plays his violin while he relaxes.
Granny is just gonna sit by the fire and try and listen for anything that, like, any info that could be relevant.
Right. So what did we do with the other like people who had been traveling that got accosted? Like we scared off all the hobgoblins, but we left them there.
I guess we just let them be. Didn't really get a chance to do much else, so yeah, I guess that's what happened.
All right.
I'm gonna be
Now, Sam.
Yes.
Did you put up tiny hut around the entire camp, or just a small section just for yourself?
Oh, just our section over there because it's only a 10-foot sphere.
Right, now, is it see-through or?
If he decides it to be. He's letting it be see-through for now.
All right.
He also casts alarm in the same way around that area too. Well, inside of like that little dome. So he has a 10-foot sphere of tiny hut for the party, essentially, just to kind of sleep inside the cart because I imagine that surrounds just the cart itself.
Okay.
And then the alarm is around the cart too.
Could you a perception check, please?
Oh no.
Sure. That would be a 17.
You take a look around the camp, seeing each caravan have their own small little fire pit with their party members hanging around it. At one fire caravan, you see one of the members who's leaning up against it, just staring at your wagon. Not moving.
So
Not
is
doing anything.
Tenethil next to Sam?
He's inside the cart, but relatively yes.
Samael's just gonna reach over and tap him on the shoulder. He's gonna flick his hand at the dome to make it turn oblique, so you can't see inside.
Okay.
And he's gonna tap Tenth on the shoulder. It looks like we have a bit of a spy going on.
No, what? What? Where?
I changed the dome to make it so that he can't see inside, but he's over there leaning up against the wall. Do you want me to drop the blackness so you can see?
No, it's fine.
There's a decent chance we've been made, but the good news is, at least inside here, we're relatively safe.
You think it might have been someone you guys dealt with?
Did Samael recognize him at all?
No, because he had a hood on. It was kind of hard to see.
I will point out that she couldn't see the whole face, but she did see someone she felt she had seen before, so there is that possibility. Getting dragging clothes out of the yard.
All right.
So Samael is going to try to sneak out the other side of the dome and see if he can sneak up on the person.
Roll me a stealth check.
Maybe just.
All right, so that's with advantage. So that's a 10 and a nat 20.
All right, I'm not even gonna roll to see if he sees you.
So as Samael approaches up behind him, he's going to see if he can, figure out who this is before he taps him on the shoulder.
You don't essentially recognize him, but from behind, you do see a dragon-esque tail as well as feet sticking out from the bottom of the cloak, and they are a relatively dark shade of blue.
So Samael is pretty much going to be like about 5 feet behind him before he turns to snow. So how long do you think it'll take before he realizes we're behind him?
Snow just
Samael says this out loud so that he can hear him.
Snow just face palms all like, why? Just why?
Stir the shit. Not to mention it's not out of we're mercenaries and we're being spied on. It doesn't matter by who. So it's in our character at the moment to figure out who the hell is watching us.
All right. I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you to so far this body hasn't moved yet at all. That is until he does a quick swing around and smacks you with his tail.
Is that a roll to hit or?
Yep, most likely because he rolled a dirty 20.
Alrighty. How much damage?
Fuck.
Say again.
10 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. So he is going to now drop the blackness of the dome with a bonus action, and as his action, he is going to cast Magic Missile and teleport 30 feet behind him next to the cart.
That's a bad idea.
Well, he was just attacked, and that was a lot of damage for someone that's just surprised.
Think about it this way. Think about it from the person's point of view. He's kind of just sitting there, and suddenly, in an unknown voice,
I was 5 feet behind him, though, so that means he had to back up to hit me.
Unknown voice talks about him behind his back. I'd want to attack whoever's sneaking up behind me too.
That would end badly for you then, because that's also illegal just for someone to be like, oh, hey, hit you because you surprised me. Not to mention, again, he attacked somebody who basically just walked up behind him and said, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, and in the midst of turning around, he hit you with his tail, not on purpose.
Oh, it wasn't.
That's a lot of damage for an accidental slap of the tail. Jesus.
Have you been hit by a pit bull's tail before? Trust me.
6 damage is enough to kill an average person.
No, that doesn't seem right. Although
Yeah, your average commoner only has 6 health points, maybe
Really?
less. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
a level 1 character, on average with only 10 Constitution, I believe, has 6 HP.
I didn't know that. It might not be a good idea to actually fight back.
12 hit points is basically enough to kill 2 full-grown men.
Okay, well, don't launch a missile at him. That'll blow our cover.
All right, I guess.
He is reacting in a way that makes sense for the situation.
And
tried.
that is how Samael would react to being attacked. But whatever, I guess he'll use Sanctuary instead and teleport 30 feet in front of him and just take the damage, I guess.
What sanctuary do?
I can't be attacked without somebody making a saving throw.
Amidst the chaos, this guy stands there looking at you and is just, fuck.
Samael is going to rub his chin and look up at him. You know, the next time you do that, I'm killing you.
Then don't sneak up on me.
Then don't sit there and watch a bunch of mercenaries like a damn creeper. Not to mention, I was 5 feet behind you, which means you had to back up to hit me with your fucking tail.
Okay, 1, my tail is naturally long. Don't judge me. 2, I wasn't staring at you.
You're watching a bunch of mercenaries in the dark while wearing a hood. If you're any creepier, you damn well have a sign saying up to no good. Jesus, I even announced my damn presence.
I was in the midst of a meditation.
Uh-huh. Just staring at us, that makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. He looks at the party and just, if you see this guy again, tell me. We'll deal with him then. And he just walks it back into the tiny dome or tiny hut.
This guy walks away as well.
Samael is going to use Cure Wounds on himself.
Meanwhile, Tanithil is sitting in the cart, arms crossed.
She's like, so how's that?
Well, now I have somebody on the list of people I'm probably going to kill first. But some creepy-ass Dragonborn was watching us.
What color was he?
What color was he? He was blue, wasn't he?
I'm pretty sure I said blue.
Alright, so he looks at Tenthil. The fucker was blue.
Oh, you have gotta be kidding me. Gunga beat that guy's ass while he was drunk.
Oh, well, then I definitely should have killed him last time.
That's how we got him to leave Greenest.
Oh, well, I definitely should have killed him. He's gonna blow our cover if we don't. How you want to deal with this?
You blew our cover when you surprised him.
He was already watching us. You realize that, right? He has no idea who the hell I am.
Just because he was watching us doesn't mean he automatically knew who we were.
He doesn't know who I am either. I'm just some Aesmere that he's freaking slapped with his tail.
I'm an idiot. Tanithil gets out of the cart and just walks off.
I feel like Samael is gonna have to follow him. Lefane, you feel like joining me to see where he's going? Lefane?
Hello?
I'm over here talking to you guys, and I've got the thing muted. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So Samael looks over at you. Lefane, do you feel like coming with me to go see where he's wandering off to now?
I could do with a stretch.
Alrighty, let's go. So Lefane and Samael head over and follow after Tenethel.
Denethil walks for a bit and soon arrives to a creek running through the land. Sits on the edge of it, dips his feet in, and just puts his face in his hands.
Hey, bud. You just out here for a stroll?
I'm out here to clear my head.
Ah,
Because I was an idiot and forgot to give Granny a disguise again.
oh well, that's fine. You think I can bullshit my way out of this? I'll simply tell them that they have no idea what they're talking about and that there are plenty of old minotaurs. That's what happens when minotaurs, go, age. They get old. There's bound to be more than one old lady minotaur.
I suppose you're right.
However, I still take mild exception to being face smacked by the tail, but I will put that to aside for now and kill him later. So who exactly do I need to bullshit? I honestly don't know who exactly is running this thing. That big guy is supposed to be, but most cultists are a little chattier than that.
Denethil walked off to a creek to clear his head because he forgot to give Granny a disguise.
I mean, I figured since they'd be excited about a bugbear as a bot with them, a minotaur wouldn't be too far fetched. That's what I figured at least.
You were recognized.
That's why he was staring.
So after a bit of splashing around in the cold creek to clear his head, Tanithil puts his shoes back on and heads back to the camp. Religas, you have hardly said a thing. What are you doing?
Religas. He's dead.
After another night of sleeping, the caravan wakes up
Excuse me, sorry.
a little bit before sunrise, packs up everything, and heads off on the trail again.
So I guess Samael is just playing his violin as he sits in the on the cart. During the night, by the way, he covered up the Kirans with kind of a horse cloak type deal.
Okay.
I know it's a little late, but at the same time, it's better late than never.
Um, I can't think of anything that I could have Granny do. So I guess just kind of like drive the cart, I guess.
Um,
Looking at
uh, while on the road, one of but before you guys head off, a nobleman, one of the merchants, decides to approach you guys.
Granny will greet him.
I gotta say, those are some lovely creatures you have pulling your cart.
Thank you.
This one's for your mom.
So Samael, while they're talking, I guess will
Some
just take an eye and look over the nobleman to see, if he's wearing any symbols of the cult or anything.
He is wearing a symbol, but it's not of the dragon cult.
so he appears to just be unaffiliated.
Um,
Can you tell what symbol it is?
roll me an investigation or a history check.
All right, history. 17.
You remember this symbol vaguely in passing in one of the Harper books, but it is the symbol for the Red Wizards of Thay.
I don't know who those are.
Out of character, is that group that serves the Lich King? It's in the southeast of Faerun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh well, shit. All right. Samael just kind of looks over. His eyes get a little bit wide, but he quickly covers that up and just looks away. Looks over at Tenethil and just nudges him, like really fervently, like, "Hey, hey, hey!"
And Hill looks at you all like, I know.
He just mouths at Tenethil, "The fuck," and just like mouths it. Doesn't actually say it.
The nobleman approaches the Kirin and tries to pet them. And
I wouldn't do that if I were you. They're not my creatures. I don't know how they were react to an unknown person approaching them.
And at the same time, he asks, "How much would you be willing to sell them for?"
These aren't my creatures. They're not for me to sell. They're not for us to sell either.
Not to mention, they could probably read a book to you if you asked them to.
They're quite high.
Tanithil immediately stops him and then looks back at this guy's caravan, which is right behind yours, and immediately gets pissed off look in his face.
Seeing this, Samael will be the voice of reason for a change and just step in front of him. Unfortunately, we can't sell them due to the fact that, well, they're kind of sentient, and they can even hold a conversation if you care to speak Celestial.
At this point, the guy just laughs.
I suppose
He-
I
he-
could try.
He looks over at the Kieran and says in Celestial, "Do you mind, cousins, if you'll raise your paw and clap it with the other one?" Like each
They-
other, like pretty much a high five, just to prove that they can.
They do so, but this guy does not seem to care. He is still laughing. And he's like,
All right.
"I didn't know you can teach animals to do that."
You're not very familiar with magical creatures, are you?
Oh boy.
Creatures is just another word for animals.
Think of it this way. Would you say a dragon is rather stupid? And by the way, if you're gonna say yes, please don't, because the one on my shoulder may attack.
You can actually see Snow getting pissed.
You know what? I give up. Zenithil, go ahead, say whatever you're gonna say. He's like, you know what? This is a lost cause. I cannot bull my shit way through stupid.
Tanithil, like doesn't even say anything. He hops off the cart, walks up to this guy, and Tanithil is clearly a good foot taller than him. And
Samael just sits next to Granny. So do you think he's going to punch him?
It's an option.
Meanwhile, can I have one of you roll a perception check to take a look at what Tanithil saw?
Any one of us?
Anyone, whoever
Alright.
feels like it.
I can roll. Sure, why not? Perception, you said?
Yeah.
That is a 17.
Right. You take a look behind you at the cart or at the horses that was pulling this nobleman's cart, and you see that they are nothing but skin and bone, covered in sores and like cuts and just neglect.
That's freaky. Yeah, that's freaky.
There, I'm gonna have to point out the state of your horse. How long are you intending on traveling? This is no state for a horse to be in to travel.
Which is why I'm trying to buy yours.
Samael's gonna look behind at what Granny was talking about and just like frown a bit and look at the guy. Well, to be fair, if you tried to treat a Kieran like that, it'd kill you.
Oh, please.
Your funeral.
It's quite clear that this guy only sees animals as workers. Like, he doesn't care.
With that, it's a little comment from him. Granny is going to hand the reins over to Sam and get down on the ground, where she's probably going to be a good 3 feet at least taller than him.
If you go back to your little cart right now and do not speak to us again, then perhaps I can forgive your little comments.
I'm going to be rolling an intimidation check on this man.
You know,
Granny rolls for intimidation.
Samael just pipes up slightly. I could cast comprehend languages on him. He could understand the Kyrians and speak to them himself. before you kill him,
Oh, no.
he's gonna look at Lefane. When did I become the one who didn't stop?
It's like she's just basically just had her face buried in her hands the whole time.
He's trying to maintain composure, like he is trying not to be a scared little boy. Kind of succeeding, but then he couldn't handle it anymore and just trottled back to his cart.
And don't talk to us again about buying the Kieran.
I mean, I was just gonna look at Lefane. So how many chances did he have to take back what he said? I counted 7.
It's like too many.
For the next 2 days, you guys progressively start to notice that his cart is getting slower and slower.
And Samael sneak over in the middle of the night and cut the horses free.
Yeah, it's the night of the 9th day that you guys have been on the road.
All right, so Samael is going to cast guidance on himself and then stealth over there, and he has advantage on that. And he's going to use his ring of invisibility as well. So he's invisible. He rolled a 19 on the first roll and a 9 on the second roll, so 19 with it because it's advantage plus the 1d4, and he's invisible.
I haven't used that ring since it was nerfed.
It's only got 3 uses, and it's not, and you can't keep it up very long, so it's
3
not
uses.
so much as useful. But so that's a dirty 20 with invisibility.
You managed to successfully sneak up to the horses.
No one being the wife.
He cuts them free very quietly and leads them by the reins away as quietly as he can, because if they rush off neighing, they'll just be caught.
Like they don't even have the energy to do that. Like they are just so slow and emaciated.
So he slowly leads them away. Once he gets them like at least out of sight, he's gonna come back and make sure to cut the axle of the guy's wagon.
Oh no! Insult to injury.
He had it coming, damn it. And then Samael is just gonna quietly sneak back over to their cart and just go back to sleep inside of the tiny hut.
The horses are slowly walking away, just like they would occasionally stop and like take a nibble of some grass here and there, but just like keep slowly walking.
As long as they're not found, they're probably gonna be all right. Probably.
It's not like we could really keep them anyways. If we kept them, he would just say, "Hey, where'd you get those horses? Those half-dead, skinny horses that were once at my cart." And the alternative is assassinating him, which I don't think I'm allowed to do.
Not right
Wait.
now.
Wait, you're a spellcaster, right?
Yeah.
You could have. I don't know if it's in your spell, your repertoire or anything, but you could have attempted to like miniaturize them to make them easier to hide.
I haven't. Actually, before they go, I will cast Enhance Ability on them and give them temporarily. It'll last up to an hour. The Bear's Endurance, which gives them an extra 2d6 temporary hit points. So basically, it gives them like a little bit of health for an hour while they go off and try to find water and food. But yeah, I don't have that specific spell in my repertoire. Most of my spells are attack, healing, and movement. But otherwise, that's all he does. Quick question: does that count as enough mischief for Loki for the night?
Yes, indeed.
Will it count for the next day? Because I mean, that guy's going to wake up and find it.
We'll see.
Samael just whistling to himself. I have no idea what you're all talking about. You are all the ones that got bad about it. I have no idea. I didn't do anything.
Just as you do that, Tanathil himself sneaks over to the cart, sees where you broke the axle, but makes it look like it rusted away.
Oh, that's nice. I was just gonna leave it tampered with. It's not like he could prove it was me anyways.
Yeah, but just to make extra sure that any of us are caught, he just makes it look like it was done by natural causes.
I feel like every party member just sneaks over and does a little bit worse to the cart.
I trust me. I'm looking through. It's like, do I have something? Do I have something?
That out. She's a pretty sleeper.
You are a rogue. Do you have a vine arrow or thorn arrow?
I'm
Not a
a
rogue,
ranger.
ranger. I mean, yeah, ranger. But do you have thorn arrow or
I
arrow of thorns?
don't. Is that like a material thing?
It is a spell that some rangers have. I don't know if you took it, but it allows you to create thorns from an arrow shot.
I don't believe that is something I had.
And
Damn.
I think that's a good thing, because too much tampering could lead to suspicion.
True. Very true.
I think the rusting is just fine.
You sure Granny doesn't want to go over and spit in his food?
No. Granny's a pretty deep sleeper. She'll probably shit this one out.
Tanathil also comes back, all smiles and happy, because he also relieved himself.
I'd say that Samael lets the inside of the tiny hut be just dim light. It's not pure darkness inside. So he's just sitting there reading his ritual book and just looks up at him. Oh, did you have a good time?
Yeah, let's just say I got to empty the snake.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
Water. Did he piss in the guy's water?
No, not his water.
His food. On him.
Sleeping bag.
Oh, man. He's not going to have a good time.
Of course.
Oh, no. He's not going to have a good time.
Samael just has a small giggle to himself as he continues reading.
Tanathil then turns into a snow leopard and just curls up in the back of the cart for a more comfortable sleep.
Brother.
I think that's the mischief for the night.
Religas, anything you would like to do?
He's still dead. Is he even in the call?
He is.
Yes.
He's back on.
Hey, he's alive.
I've never left.
Oh, they were trying to talk to you a minute ago.
Really? I didn't hear.
Yeah.
Want to add anything to this animal abuser, or just leave him be?
Boy, I want to hurt them so bad for other treating their animals.
Well, Samael stole his horses and let them free, cut the axle of his cart, and Tanathil pissed in his sleeping bag and covered up the cut to make it look like rust.
Don't forget to add a piece of. Don't forget to shit in there and shake it around.
No. Oh, no. No.
I don't remember what else. What else to add to that then?
Alright. And if that's the case, in the morning, let's just say everyone is awoken to screams.
Samael, upon waking up, sits up, drops Tiny Hut, and just peeks out completely innocently. Just looks over. Oh, what is wrong? What possibly could be wrong?
You see this guy trying to get out of his sleeping bag as fast as he can, but he's just making it worse.
Samael just hops out of the cart and just leans up against it. You know, if you stop jumping around like that and just calmly remove yourself, it wouldn't be so hard.
He does so and tosses the sleeping bag into the fire pit.
Oh no, why would you do that?
It is soiled now. I can't even use it. I now need to burn these clothes.
Did your mother never teach you not to go while you were sleeping? You know you can't be drinking before bedtime.
He has this look of like, I want to murder you so badly right now.
Somebody else smiles.
This guy storms his way over to you. Just like I know it was you guys. I know this was all you were doing.
What are you talking about? I wasn't one of the ones that got mad at you.
Just as he was about to grab hold of Sam, Tanithil, in his snow leopard form, jumps out and just full on snarls at the guy.
Ooh.
Oh, look, another animal. Are you going to try to whip this one too? Samael, by the way, just has this complete look of innocence on his face.
Yeah, it's like I'm just gonna look over. It's like I'd be a bit careful. By the way, they look a little hungry.
Oh, just a little bit.
But that this guy lets out a whistle, and soon 2 lasso ropes are now around Tanithil's neck.
Oh no.
Samael just slices them with his dagger.
Tanithil looks at one of them, and it looks to be one of the knights that is this guy's personal guard.
You know, are you really going to pick a fight with a whole mercenary company because you can't control your bladder in the middle of the night?
This
Deception?
Roll deception.
Better roll high.
That is a 19.
This guy just looks at you, flustered and blushing, and is just, and he just growls and storms off.
He looks at the knights and just shrugs. If it makes you feel any better, I'm glad I don't have to fight you. You're probably decent fighters, but you're well outnumbered, and we are pretty skilled.
They all walk away and get ready to try and leave again.
Oh
He j-
no, they don't have weed. They don't have a working soul or horse.
He just pats he pats Tenethil on the head and just like walks away.
Tanithil turns into his elf form again and gets in the driver's seat. And soon everyone is now on the road, except for one.
Except for one little noble.
And as you guys are walking off into the distance, you can just hear his frustrated screams dim off in the distance. And with that, we are going to end today's session.
Nice.
Who is snoring?
Take a guess.
Good. Wait, is that what that was supposed to be?
All right. We are going to call it here for today. We should all meet up next week.
Cool.
Everyone have a good week, and is it Saturday at bye.
Au revoir.